Martin, 32. I can do way more for you than you can ever do for me. Humble yourself entirely. Pretty much hopeless at this point. The internet has brainwashed you. I'm single because I didn't fall apart in my 20s, and now I'm stuck to pick from the leftovers. America has failed its men. We deserve better than these obese whores and delusional single mothers. So now the entire world sees that the female brain falls apart if not being led by a man. Y'all have no awareness or self-control. Children. Next. Just try.
Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As you see, there is no intro, no fancy music, no nothing, just getting straight to the point. How do you like this new facet of me? You know, very pragmatic, very direct. But the point, gentlemen, is this man said a lot of things that were true, but what this one didn't like was the fact that he was arrogant. And of course, nobody likes that, alright? Everybody can put the blame on the guy for being too arrogant. What's funny and striking here is that women do the same thing. They are very arrogant and they are very entitled, and they have the same attitude on a daily basis. You can see this attitude in most women in the Western society, alright? So they don't bat an eye when that happens, when other women have this attitude, but when a man does it, oh, let me film it, let me make a TikTok about it, exposing him to the whole world. And of course, everybody agrees when it's a man. When it's a woman, though, not the case. But let's continue and see how that's the case for the next guys.
Trying to marry someone before I turn 30 so I don't snap and chain someone in my basement for sexual satisfaction and reproduction. Huge plus if you are a virgin because you have the lowest rates of divorce. You know, people in relationships have the most sex and I am one horny motherfucker. I wish we would kick all these motherfucking illegal immigrants out of this goddamn country. Lawrence, 27. Must read. Any female wanting to swipe right must meet the following criteria. You must be between 5'1" and 5'5", no exceptions. You must weigh no more than 110 pounds, no exceptions. You must fit enough to hold me but no visible muscle tone. The anime girl in the second picture is a reference, so if you don't look like her, swipe left. No religious people. I want to raise intelligent children and can't sacrifice my seed to someone delusional enough to believe in so-called God. I am extremely smart.
Now this guy's probably trolling. Like, these guys are probably trolling. But even if they weren't, like, that's the point. We can all agree that if this was not satirical in nature, it's dumb, right? It's very dumb, it's very stupid. But that's the whole point, which is why I think these guys are being ironic, sarcastic, is that you women are the ones that go out there and say, I don't want a man that's beneath 6 feet tall, which is above the average, right? So you don't have a problem with that, yet when men say that she must be between 5'1" and 5'5", oh, no, you don't get to choose that. What do you mean you don't like a woman regardless of her height? Now, what do you mean she doesn't have to be overweight? She has to weigh less than 110 pounds. Now, that's a problem. Yet when women expect men to have a six-pack and to be this amount of tall or earn this amount of money, then for you ladies, that's fine, right? But when a man says it, it's viewed as this heresy against human nature, you know, guys? Like, public enemy number one. Absolutely hilarious. When they take a taste of their own medicine, guys, they absolutely lose it. But gentlemen, let's move on to our next TikToks. And for our Reddit story, we have an interesting article that we'll take a look to. So let's continue now. Let me play it from the beginning.
The next dude that I meet that don't want to take me out on a proper date, but wants me to pull up to his house, I'm robbing him. Yeah, I'm robbing him. I'm about to teach his ass a lesson about having strangers at your place of residence. Are you kidding me? You don't want to pay 20 bucks for my meal and get to know me a little bit, but you want me to come and chill at your house?
Right, first off, you pay for your own meal. You're working, right? If you're working, you pay for your own meal. Second off, you don't want to pay for your own meal. Call a bear to do it, is what I say. You know, go get a bear to pay your meal.
For the free? Oh, I'm leaving with something. Yeah, believe that.
So she has her little list here, guys. Let's take a look. And by the way, I remember some guy or woman before time left a comment saying, Hiran, what do you have against lists? Guys, I don't have anything against lists. If that's the way you organize yourself better and you function better, it's a good activity, right? It's like a good way to manage your things. What I'm making fun of is the content of these lists, right? So we have here, do more of what you love doing as a kid, yada yada. If you want a man to be emotionally hooked, you have to let him do more than you and care less than he do. So imagine how crazy it is to be in a relationship and you gotta think to yourself, oh, I gotta do less, right? Like your purpose in the relationship is to do less and care less. That's crazy to me. I don't know how these people expect to have successful relationships like this. Start your detached era. I love how everything with these women is in eras, right? Like we're reading some history book. Don't react every time something happened. You will be so magnetic and it will raise your confidence. Put all the attention in you, in your day-to-day. Take your power back. Stop spreading your attention to everyone that is outside of your influence. Very interesting wording there. But yeah, put all the attention in you. As we all know, guys, all these women are very self-absorbed. They spend kissing their own arse all day, thinking about themselves all the time. Notice how this whole list is about themselves only and strictly. The world doesn't function like that. When you focus on... And look, I'm not saying that you should not have self-love or... you know, try to improve. Guys, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that these people who constantly and only think about themselves, they never end up improving. All right, they just end up being very narcissistic. Do fun activities, yada yada. Be yourself and let the right man find you. No, why do you have to be yourself, right? That doesn't apply to men. Oh, just be yourself. No, you have to be 6 feet, 6 digits, 666, the number of the beast. You cannot get to do yourself as a man. But as a woman, you can be overweight, never hit the gym, be very boring to be around, and the right man will come for you, right? The Prince Charming on the white horse. What was the next one? I don't give an F how much I like him. As soon as he has me questioning my worth, he's blocked. Yeah, how dare you question my worth? Don't you know that God himself appointed me as the most worthy person on this earth? Who are you to question my worth? Who are you to ask me what do I bring to the table? Don't you see that I'm God's gift to the earth, damn it? Because why sit there and cry for someone that don't value you? And now she's writing the next thing that she talked about. Guys, the funny thing about this is she's already done this, alright? This whole list that you see here are things that she's already done. So she's 30, I'm presuming in her 30s. She's been doing this for the better part of 10 years, and now she expects the next guy to come and start paying the bills, and no, you gotta wait for S3X, I'm no common 304, and all these things. Who does that, guys? It's such a... You gotta be such a loser to see a woman that has been giving out for free something, and then you come in and you have to pay the bill, right? You have to pay for all the men's pleasure that they had in the past. This is the equivalent of going to a wedding or birthday and everyone gets a slice of cake for free, but then it comes your turn and they tell you, oh no, you gotta pay $10 just because it's you. Yeah, the other people got it for free, but you have to pay $10 for that piece of cake. You gotta be a loser, right? You gotta be a loser. All the other people got it for free, you gotta pay for it because you're worse than them apparently. This is the reward, right? These women, guys, portray their commitment as being a reward. Yeah, all the men got what's between my legs, but that's not the real prize. The real prize is my commitment, is my love, is what I bring to the table. That's the prize, really. Yet you are making me pay more for it. So the other guys got the cake for free. You have to pay for it because that's apparently the prize or something. I don't know. Make it make sense. Well, let's see how this ends, gentlemen. Is it gonna be just her typing? Oh, apparently, yes. She wanted all of us to witness how she's writing it down, alright? So if this was very important for you, you can wind back the video and see her write it again, guys. Well, let's move on now.
That you cannot be nonchalant to bad bitches. I had an ex who literally used to spoil me so much.
Yeah, we're not gonna cover that. I just wanted to show you how disgusting as a person you have to be to film yourself eating. Like, take a look at this, guys. She has like this massive boulder. Can you see this? Oh no, you can only see her forehead. Wait a minute. These women film themselves from such a close angle they have to be switching these scenes all the time because you cannot see them. Ampu, hide, quick. There you see her. She has like this massive boulder of food on one side of her face and she's munching in front of us all. Couldn't you record your shitty little pathetic TikTok after you finish deep throating that big piece of whatever food you're eating? Couldn't you do that? It takes like 10 seconds to get it through your throat, right? But no, this is how the video starts, right? She just had to show all of us how she's getting all that disgusting saliva-filled food through her throat. Disgusting. Why are these people like this? Like, next thing you're gonna... why don't you start recording these TikToks while you're doing oral services to some chat, you know, eating all his sausage, his wiener. That's the next thing they're gonna do, because apparently there are no manners whatsoever. I mean, yes, I get upset, guys, I get upset, but come on, where are the most basic level manners of people? Disgusting. Now let's move on. I'm alright, guys, I'm chill. Please like and subscribe for my therapy and also anger management hours with the psychologist. But now let's move on to our final TikTok, and then we'll move on to our article story.
Actually not a feat that you want.
Oh, sorry, let me play it back again.
Maturing is realizing that being the most beautiful woman in the room is actually not a feat that you want to achieve. When I was first starting to go out, I remember that I would put in so much effort into the way that I looked. And it wasn't necessarily the effort, but it was an intention behind the effort. The idea of being the most beautiful girl in the room, the idea of being show-stopping and going into the room and having everyone's head turn, or even just being perceived and looked at, and the fear of not having that, and the fear of another woman having that instead. So when I got ready, I remember it would have a lot of anxiety behind it, and again, a lot of fear. For that, I put the idea of winning people's approval on my looks so high up, I put it on a pedestal, and subsequently I put people's idea of me beyond my own. That was an incredibly harmful rhetoric for me to repeat to myself as I was getting ready for every party. But as I've grown up a little bit and I've matured, I have realized just how useless it was to have a goal like that. For that, yes, maybe the looks might get me into the room, might get me into the party, but it's definitely not what is keeping me there. And I'm more than happy to not be the most beautiful woman in the room. Women have constantly been put against each other. And so inherently, with that previous thought that I had when I was growing up, I saw women as competition. But now I realize that there were...
I'm actually surprised she doesn't blame the patriarchy for this, as is usually the case. But who do you think, guys, that puts women against women? Who do you think that gets this competition going between women? It's women, right? It's all the women. It's not men. Men don't care if you wear makeup, especially at young ages. I see so many women that are 18 and are already wearing more makeup than the 50-year-old 304 hooker on the street. Why are you wearing makeup? The whole purpose of makeup is to enhance or cover up, you know, bad things on your face or enhance your beauty. You are 19. You are at the peak of your beauty in life. Why do you need makeup? Or you're not like some 50-year-old woman that her skin looks like a witch. Why are you wearing makeup? I don't understand modern women. But going back to the point, yeah, it's women who create this competition, all right? It's not men. Men couldn't care less.
They were never my competition. We can all be beautiful together and all be allies for each other. Instead, I find myself worrying about being the nicest person in the room, being the person in the room that makes other people in the room comfortable to be themselves, but also within the space. And I push myself to make sure that I'm making the conversations I'm having in the room important and worthwhile. I focus on connecting with the people in the room, not just being someone that is beautiful to look at for the people in the room. I find myself desiring connection rather than stares as I've matured and go out more.
So if this is true, and again, sorry to have this woman's face, look at her face, man. Why are you covering this from this angle where I can see the atoms on your face? Anyway, guys, the point is, if this is true, I'm happy for this woman. because men don't care about looks so much as they are made to look like, right? Men are not that superficial. In fact, if you ask me, I think women are more superficial than men. So if you've come to the realization that you have to have some character and not just be an empty vessel of a body, that's fantastic. But something that I wanted to share with you guys is something that a lot of men don't realize, and it's that the reason why a lot of men view women as more beautiful than men is because of the hours they spend on their looks, right? Like some of these women that guys think that are way above their level, and they are unreachable, you know. The reason why is because they spend 3 hours in front of the mirror. All right, if you guys spent the same time taking care of your hair, finding clothes that match or whatever, and ironing them and all that, and if you spent 3 hours putting on makeup and all those things, you will look equally as attractive as these women. All right, equally as put well together. So these women, in fact, a lot of women complain that men by default have better skin than them without having to do anything, right? They can use the same soap they use for their ass on their face and they have better skin. The women complain about that. Women also complain about men having longer eyelashes, which is true, right? It's like men by default already have a better base than women. And if you spend the same amount of time on yourself as these women spend, you would look like them in the terms of attractiveness, right? Now that wouldn't make them want you because women, as we all know, date up. But well, I mean, you could increase your looks and look better, so that will increase your opportunities. But what I was meaning to say is that you wouldn't have the same amount of options that they have just by putting on the same amount of hours into your looks, is what I meant. But now, guys, let's move on to our article story that I wanted to read with you and have your opinion on it. So let's take a look, gentlemen. The title is "Embarrassed to Date Because of My Job, 26 male." Hey everyone, so I work in customer service at the bank. I don't really love it and I have no ambitions to advance my career. The hours are nice. I work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday unless I choose to do overtime. The job security is decent, and while the pay isn't amazing, I can still pay all the bills and have money left over. Life isn't that bad though. I'm not stressed or tired all the time like my friends who work in higher paying but more demanding fields. I also have no debt since never went to university. I love how it's a flex nowadays to not go to university. And I started working there when I was 22 after working in retail and hospitality for years. I'm working all the time. I'm merely using this job to pursue my artistic goals. I want to be a writer, and I can't do that if I have a stressful job when I'm working all the time. I'm writing my third novel now, and I have around 4 short stories published in magazines. Congratulations for that. I mainly write horror and dark fantasy. Problem is, I worry that women I try to date will assume that I'm lazy and unmotivated, but I don't want to change my life just for a woman who will walk out at any moment. My writing is more important to me than finding a partner, and I was put on this earth to be a storyteller. Will my situation be a turn-off? Well, gentlemen, ew. Ew just gives me the ick. A man that doesn't want to pursue the 6-digit salary so he can provide for a woman? Guys, disgusting, right? Now, a lot of people will tell you that, hey, you know, if you ask women, guys, about this story, they'll tell you, oh, that's fantastic, that's really fabulous, you know, just chase whatever you want, absolutely amazing. But they won't tell you the part where, oh no, it's actually giving me the ick, you're not successful, you're not rich, oh, that's very disgusting, right? The only people who are happy about you are going to be men. The men are going to be happy about the novels you wrote and about the things you've achieved, and that you have found your happiness in your own way. Women, they'll say that's the case, they won't like you though. And I'll show you a picture, guys, that you are all very familiar with. But this is the reality of dating nowadays. Here you have all the average guys, and then you have the top 10% of men, and you have 9 out of 10 women going for the same type of guys. Alright, and you can see down here below that actually one of the women went for an average guy, which, by the way, average is not bad. I know it's the definition is in the word, but average is just good. It's nice. It's all right, right? If everybody was a 10 out of 10, then that will be the average. And I say that because average has like this bad connotation to it, but there's nothing wrong about average. And a lot of these guys that are average, all of these faceless people that you see here, and the way women view these average guys is like faceless nobodies, you know, they view them as rocks, guys. They couldn't care less about these guys. But the reality is a lot of them have great personalities, treat their families right, will make for awesome fathers, will make for great families, will give these women attention to detail and love and care and nourishing and all that they supposedly care about. All right, all these guys here could do that, but women don't go for them. There's just this one woman who decides to not be a harpy and chase the same superficial materialistic crap and actually go for something deeper. So eventually it does happen. Now my answer to this guy is you can try your luck, feel welcome to. You can actually maybe find a woman that is going to excuse me, that is going to care about the things that you care and value, that you're putting so much energy into different things. But probably it's not going to happen. This is something that men must live with. Like, you must understand that a lot of men will not make it, all right? If you're not especially very good looking or very tall, your chances are even lower. And look, it really depends on, do you live in a rural area or not? Do you live more to the west or more to the east? The country, the culture, your inner circle of friends. It depends on a lot of things, guys. But this is just a statistic, all right? I don't want no one to think that, oh, just because you are less than 5'7", it's impossible for you. No, never the case. The main point is, just statistically speaking, this is what happens, all right? And now, guys, before we close the video, I want to read some of the comments that are left on this post, because this picture is taken from a post on Instagram. The comments are hilarious. First one, with a monkey picture, I presume that's him, says, men when women want to date someone who is attractive and successful, angry emojis. No, you see, my monkey friend, you're not getting it right. Nobody is saying that women shouldn't date attractive or successful men. The issue is that, guys, all of these average men could be attractive and successful. They very well could be. They're just not as attractive, as successful as the top. You see, that's the problem. Nobody's telling women to go date the hobo living under the bridge. Nobody's saying that. Or to go for these very awkward and unattractive men who just play games and yank it all day, alright? No, it's just, it doesn't change the fact that you're dating, or that most women are going for the men who are way out of their league and will never commit, and are sacrificing on the altar a family and a serious relationship for their delusional dreams, alright? So, my monkey friend, try to increase your IQ a bit and you will understand it. Another one here says, I think this guy takes the crown for being the biggest clown. And I don't actually know if it's a man or a woman, lazy enough to open the profile. I don't know if it's a man with long hair. Anyway, if it's a man, he has higher levels of estrogen than of testosterone, so it doesn't really matter. But he says, natural hierarchy. Men do the same. Sorry. I can't even read it with a straight face. My guy, you said two statements and both of them are wrong. First off, this is not natural hierarchy. This is hypergamy. Alright, not the same thing. Second off, he says men do the same. Literally not. Like, that's literally not the case. Which is why you have millionaires ready to date the Starbucks barista. Alright. Just, this is so hilarious. Because where do these people live, guys? I know that I live on planet Earth. You watching this right now live on planet Earth, which is why both of us agree that men are not like this. You are either a man and you know that it's not the case. You can be a woman, but you have men around, you see what they're after. You see that they just don't care about this hierarchy for women, right? So I don't know where these guys are living and why they're so delusional. This is the product of the echo chamber. They are so... They put a blindfold on their eyes, and they are so blinded by the delusion they've been indoctrinated into that they won't see the the truth, even if it hits them in the face. You know what I mean, guys? Let's read more comments here. Another one says, like, you wouldn't like a woman who's rich, attractive, and drives a luxury car. I don't know, maybe I'll like her, maybe I won't. I don't care. You're not getting the point. Men don't care if women are rich or if they drive luxury cars. Like, who cares about that, guys? Who cares if a woman drives a luxury car? Who gives a shit? The only thing these things is attractive. Yeah, men care about attractive women. But again, it's not in this hypergamy module, right? If men find an attractive enough woman, they will commit to her and they will be ready to marry her if she's nice enough. Men will not find an attractive woman and think to themselves, oh well, she's attractive, but can I get an even more attractive one? Men don't think like that. When are you going to get this through your heads? Damn, these morons, guys. Another one says, don't chase after women, chase your goals and dreams, then let them come to you. This is absolutely the case. And a lot of men get this wrong, especially when they are younger. They think that they have to chase after women. The less you care about women, the more they will be attracted to you, is ironically the case. But guys, let's finish with one last comment. A woman here, Mart, says, that's actually just dating apps where the whole point is that you filter through people you find sexually attractive because you want to hook up. I'm going to pause right here because I love how these women perfectly understand what dating apps are, yet when you ask them why do you spend 10 years on dating apps if you know that there's no love in it, and they say, oh well, you never know, it's like pick a lane. So you accept the dating apps are solely for the purpose of finding sexually attractive people to hook up. You understand that, yet when you ask when we say that it's a red flag that you've been on dating apps, you say, oh, how could you say that? I was just looking for love. Hilarious. Contradicting themselves as always. Women, am I right, fellas? But the comment continues, it doesn't apply to real life relationships where you're trying to find someone to connect with emotionally and intellectually outside the bedroom. Hope that helps your brain rot. Hell, that emoji. So first off, madam, my little marmot user, first off, there's barely no distinction, if at all, between women using dating apps and women not using dating apps, because talking about percentages, most women today use dating apps, and by that I also include using Facebook or all the social apps as dating apps. Like, the amount of women that are left that don't do this and don't farm attention and validation from random strangers to boost their ego is practically non-existent at this point, alright? So very bold of you to assume that we have two different scenarios here. Another thing is, again, if dating apps are solely for hooking up, what are you doing there? Alright, if all you want is to try and find someone to connect with emotionally and intellectually outside the bedroom, yada yada, go do that. I don't want to see you on dating apps, right? But guys, again, it just, nothing changes the fact that this is the way women date, alright? And maybe I should have hidden this picture so you could see me shooting at monsters. But there's the point, guys. Women nowadays, and we see this all throughout, alright? You have attractive women and not attractive women doing this. You have women who use Tinder as a dating app. You have women who use Facebook as a dating app. All of these women have in common is that in most of the cases, they are dating up, right? And again, you can see this in women that are 3 out of 10s and 4 out of 10s. They will still date the higher they can. And they have men at the same level as them in the attractiveness department that are not getting crap because these women are chasing some other guys. So do you agree with that, gentlemen? Leave me your opinions below. But regarding the story of the men, guys, I wish you all did this, alright? And I tried to do that myself. Don't care about women and chasing them and all that. Look, I'm not saying you should not care about their existence if you want to find a family. I'm just saying don't chase them, guys. Follow your dreams, your aspirations. Do what you like. For women, it doesn't apply because when women are attractive and good and feminine, they have the power to attract men just by possessing femininity. With men, it's not the same. You can be masculine, you can be attractive, you can be intelligent, you can be friendly. You're not gonna attract the majority of women. The way you're gonna attract the majority of women is by focusing on yourself, right? It's a different game for men and women. But men, they first have to have their crap together, and then they can move on to a relationship, right? But gentlemen, what do you think about all that? Thank you for joining me and Ampu. As you can see, he's very, very happy to see you all. I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining.